In Matthew 18, a remarkable interaction took place between Jesus and his disciple Peter. Peter went to Jesus and said, Jesus, how many times should I forgive my brother if he sins against me? 7 times? Jesus says, no, not 7 times, but I tell you the truth, 70 times 7 times. In other words, an amount that can't be calculated. See, Peter, he wanted to know if he could forgive enough times, if he would earn his way to the Savior's favor. And the Savior was saying, no, you have to have a heart of forgiveness. You see, in Genesis 27, Esau and Jacob were born twins, and Esau was the firstborn. Jacob held his heel because Jacob wanted Esau's position as the first, of being the eldest, of being the one who would receive the blessing of the firstborn. And the time came when Isaac, the father of Esau and Jacob, was ready to give the blessing to the eldest son. And Jacob, with the help of his mother Rebekah, they went in and they tricked Isaac, claiming to be Esau. And the blessing was given to Jacob. The same blessing that should have went to Esau was given to Jacob. Esau, a short time later, came in for the blessing, and his father said, I can't give it to you. I've given it to your brother. And here's what happened with Esau. He said, the time for mourning for my father will soon be over, and when that's done, I'm going to kill my brother Jacob. It was time for Jacob to leave. After Jacob had fled, Jacob came to a place called Padan Aram, and it was the home of his uncle Laban. And there was a deep water well, and there was plenty of animals and crops and flocks, much different than the desert from where he came. And when he arrived there, he had nothing. But through the course of time, and remember, Jacob is a trickster. Jacob is cunning and clever and manipulative. And through the course of time, his uncle, who was much like him, they battled back and forth, tricking one another, conniving one another. But Jacob, through the blessing of God, ended up with many animals, flocks of animals. He had wives. He had children. And Jacob spent many years there. But there came a time when God told Jacob, it's time for you to leave and to go back to the land from where you came. Esau had heard that he was going home. Now don't forget that Esau said, I will kill him. And Jacob sat down and he prayed to God and he said, God, save me from the hand of my brother. And that night, all of the deception, all of the treachery, all of the manipulation that Jacob had done was over. It was over. There was nothing left. There was no tricking left. It was only him and God. And he bowed down, and you know what happened that night? God showed up. And he saw God's face, and he wrestled with God. And at the end of that long night, Jacob woke up, and he had heard from the messengers that Esau was coming with 400 men. Esau, the warrior, the hunter, was coming. But Esau ran to meet Jacob and embraced him. He threw his arms around his neck and kissed him, and they wept. Esau asked in verse 8, what's the meaning of all the flocks and herds that I met? You see, Jacob sent gifts for forgiveness. Jacob says, to find favor in your eyes, my Lord. But Esau said, I already have plenty, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself. No, please, said Jacob, if I have found favor in your eyes, accept this gift from me. For to see your face is to see the face of God. Do you see what just took place? When forgiveness like that takes place, we show others who God is. You see, we were tricksters. We were manipulators. We were liars. We were thieves. We were adulterers. And God comes to us and he puts his arms around us in the same way that Esau put his arms around his brother. And he says, I forgive you. And when Esau did that, Jacob said, I see God. Are we willing, as Jesus said, not to forgive and count, but to forgive because we are representing who our God is. We are representing what the Savior did on the cross for us. Kelly McAndrew, Soldiers for Faith.